speaker view once I mute everybody. Yeah. All right. Hey, Tommy. Oh, Anastasia too. Very good. Yeah, we're going to start standing today. And if you don't already have them, get some weights, 2, 3, 5 pounds the most, or some water bottles or something that weighs the same. And I guess I'll go ahead and mute everybody while we're just gathering here. Mute all. Oh, thank you. Anything else to know? Oh yeah, we will do a little bit of seated stretching. So if you know your legs or your hips are tight, make sure you've got a blanket, a pillow, cushion, something to prop yourself up on for later. And also if you know your neck is tight, you might have a little pillow. I don't think we're going to do too much laying down today though. We're going to do a good bit of standing up. So, all right, we got Anastasia. Yes, this looks like a good time to begin. Oh, and if you do need to check out right at 2 or a little before, just put a little something in the chat to let me know you're headed out, so I know. Otherwise, we'll chat a little bit together afterwards. Okay, get your Spotify list up if you haven't already. I'll do the countdown, and we're going to press play right after I say go. So let's see, does everybody look ready? Yes, yes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, so let's all start standing. If you've got a hairdo you don't want to mess up, start to massage the back of your neck. Otherwise, take your fingers to your scalp and just kind of scrub around like you're giving yourself a good shampoo. Woo, and feel all the tingles through the back of your neck and down your arms as you do that, just scrubbing the scalp, waking up all those nerve endings. And then we're going to take our fingers to the top of our foreheads, pinkies right in the center, and then just gently comb down to right above your eyebrows. And let's do that again. Crown of the head floating up as you comb down. We're thinking of combing the front of our brain. So letting the brain get a little heavier right above the eyes, resting the brain on the orbital bones. One more little combing down. And then shake your hands out. Like you've got water on your hands, you want to flick the water off and make it even more floppy. So it's as if you're going to try to shake your hands off your wrists. Shake them in all different directions, wild bones all around. And then take your hands around to your lower back. Slide your hands down and arch your back, lift your chest. And then drag your fingers back up the sides of your spine, round your back. So the heel of the hand glides down as you arch, and then the fingers drag up as you curl. Do that a few more times, just reviving the tissue in your lower back. And now let's go one up, one down, side bend. And you use as much pressure as feels good from your hands. Gliding up and down. Head and neck is nice and free. And now take it around front to back. We're rotating, dragging the hands across the belly and the lower back. You can go up a little higher, down a little lower. Oh, so again, just stimulating all those little nerve endings, waking up the body, the senses. And then just shake your arms out again. And now take your collarbones and float them up and down. So think of the movement from the collarbones in the front. There's a little anchor point in the center and back down. One more time. Scrunch the collarbones up and down. And now let's move our attention down to our feet. All 10 toes lift, but keep the ball of your foot down. And then put your big toes down and just lift the other 4 toes up and down. Can you keep the big toe grounded? One foot might be a little easier than the other. And now all toes lift. Put the 4 toes down and then try to lift just the big toes up and down. Whew, might take a second to find the coordination. Maybe it's just your imagination for now. Maybe it's just 1 foot at a time if that feels a little easier. And now start to rock forward and back. Heel to toe, let the heels lift. Let the whole forefoot lift. And then rock it side to side. And now circle around the edges of your feet. So as you come around the front, the heels lift. Oh, that should feel really nice in your foot and ankle. And then go the other way. Relax your hands, let your head float up like a helium balloon. Spine is the string dangling down. And then take your hands to your knees and circle your knees around. Let's circle them in the same direction. Let your head nod forward and then circle the knees the other way. Find the middle. Check that your feet are about hip distance apart, like train tracks. And then stretch head from tail. Let's do a little arch and curl from here, a standing cat stretch. Find somewhere in the middle, flat back, and let's take one hand through the right hand outside the left knee. Reach down, and then like an archer drawing back on your bow, pelvis, ribs, shoulder, head, you reach all the way up, look toward that hand, and then fingertips curl in, elbow, shoulder, ribs, hips. Let's do that again. Lead with the pelvis, ribs, shoulder, head, rotate, look all the way back, and then curl it back down. One more time. You're looking for that opposition, one side of the ribs going forward as the other goes back. And then stand tall, give it a little shake out, and sink back down into your monkey stance, kind of gorilla stance, belly drawing in, left hand to the right knee. Rotate pelvis, ribs, shoulder, head, reach back, and then curl it back in, reach down. And again, still breathing. One more. And then stand back up, give it a little wiggle. Stand with your feet close together, and then we're going to step side together, side together. And I'm floating up and over. I'm articulating through my foot, not too fast. Let's think more floaty and light. Toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel. And now add the arms swinging in front of you. Yeah, maybe it's like there's a little puddle that you're kind of hopping over. And now let's side bend. So one arm goes up, side to side. Start to take it in any direction. Use the space you've got. And now let's go down low to one side, up high to the other. Low to one, high to the other. And when you're ready, reverse it. Low to the other side, high to the other. Don't worry about what it looks like. We're just floating. And now swing your arms in any pattern. Wild bones, swinging around. And then come back to center. Take your feet out wide, hands to the knees. Stick your tailbone out and then rotate. Press the knees open. Oh, big inner thigh stretch. Come back to center and switch. Spiral head from tail. And again, we come halfway up and then sink down. Once more, relax those toes. Let the feet lengthen and widen. And now find the middle and just your lower spine, curl and arch. Sit bones together and apart. And you might exhale as you do a little tuck and then just release. And now start to carve a circle with your tailbone in space. Adjust the placement of your hands if you need to. Circle the other way. Soft elbows. Head and neck can kind of noodle around. And then find the middle. Curl it up to standing. Toes straight ahead. And just do a little shift side to side. Let your booty shake. Let your thighs jiggle. And then turn it out, 45. Sink down and up. Check that your knees are more over your ankles. So you might have to adjust to a little wider stance. And now sink as low as you can without discomfort in your knees. Get the sit bones together underneath you. Let's go thumb and forefinger together right in front of your ovaries. If you're a man, it's your ghost ovaries from when we first developed here. And then we're going to swing our tailbone forward and back. A little arch and curl. Stay as low as you can without discomfort in the knees. Keep your head above ribs, ribs above hips. And now stack the right hand on the left. Circle your hips around. Just rest the weight of the right hand in the left. Go the other way. Big spiral. Upper body staying steady. We're mobilizing the lower spine and the hips. And then stretch it up. Step it in. Find your weights. Just shake out your legs a little more. One and then the other. In fact, let's kick the left leg out and just turn it in and out. And then pick up the pace. And then try the other side. Turn it in and out. All right, now feet fairly wide. You can just watch one first. We're going to pivot. Let the back heel lift. Your arms come up. You sink down. And then we swing around to the other side. So just join me when you're ready. So you're going into a lunge. As your arms swing up, think of your hands connecting down into your sacrum. Stay really vertical. So we're sliding straight down the wall behind you. Pivoting on the balls of the feet. On the next one, let's stay to this side. Take your hands to your shoulders. Just bend your knees. Let's get your foot placement. Check that they're like train tracks. They're not one in front of the other. Straight down, curl that tail. And now as you sink down, push your arms up. You got it. Nice and lifted through the chest, but keep the back bottom ribs nice and wide. 2, 1, stay here. Turn your palms down, your elbows up to the side. And now lift your chest, bring your shoulder blades together. The back leg is straight. Now we're going to push the arms forward, curl your spine, bend the back knee, spread your shoulder blades. Pull back, lift the chest. Exhale, curl your tailbone under. One more time. Curl. This time, bring it up. Straighten your arms. Pull the back knee up. Pull your elbows in. Step it back, reach forward. Knee up. Leg back. It's a balance challenge. It's okay if you're a little wobbly on that standing leg. One more. All right, regroup. And then let's do all that on the other side. So wide stance, pivot, hands to the shoulders. Check the feet are like train tracks. Start with just the legs, sink down and up. Sliding straight down the wall behind you. Head floating up, tail dropping down. Let's add the arms, press up. Squeeze around that sit bone on the front leg. Even on the way down, I'm still trying to feel the back of my leg working. One more. Now palms down, elbows up, lift the chest, and then curl inward, bend the back knee. Pull back, open the chest, and then widen the shoulders around the back, open the front of the hip. Exhale, curl that tail in. Inhale, lift, and now find the middle. Arms reach out, pull the back knee up, step it back, push forward. You got it. Strong back, strong legs. Last one. Come to the middle, give it a little shoulder roll. And now back to the other side. This time, we're gonna go for more of a crescent lunge and hinge forward. So see how the crown of my head is in line with my tailbone, in line with the back heel. Row your elbows back. Draw your belly back toward your spine. Squeeze the weights a little with your hands. Squeeze under your arms and between your shoulder blades. Squeeze around that front sit bone. Find the glute. And now straight arms. Open out to the sides. Upper, middle, back. You should not feel this in your neck. Tuck that chin. Work that upper back and all those little postural muscles to bring the head back in line with the spine. Now alternate, row it back, open, bend, and straight. One more. And then step forward, reach your arms up. Circle down, turn to face the other way. Same thing this side. Long straight line, crown of the head through the tail, spin that hip back, and then row those arms. Draw your belly back toward your spine. Squeeze the weights a little bit. And now open it out to the sides. Belly drawing in and up. And now alternate. Bend, straight, bend, straight. One more. And then swing it up, step forward. Put the weights aside. Have a little quick drink of water if you got it. And then start to scrub one shoulder up, one shoulder down. Like your shoulder blades are little scrub brushes scrubbing your spine nice and clean. And now turn them into slippery bars of soap. Washing the back of the ribs with the shoulder blades. And then take your arms up. Stand on the right leg. Step the left foot forward and back. I'm just tapping the floor with my toes, opposite arm and leg. Switch to the other side. Try to get it opposite arm and leg, forward and back. Leaning forward a little bit. And now change it to a shuffle. Arms can do whatever feels good. Shuffle to the right, turn to the left. Jumping jacks, open, close. Get that heart rate up. Three, two, one. Take it in, tight. Football, drill. Squeeze those abs, hug the sides of your waist in. And now pick it up, high knees. Kick your bum. Just hop up and down. One knee in, opposite elbow to knee. And now open it up, kick back. Almost there, keep breathing. And just hop. Ooh, little pogo. And then stay down, shake those hands. Flippy flop those hands. Circle your elbows. Go the other way. Oh, slippery, slidey shoulder blades. Ah. And then nod your chin, curl down, hands to the knees. Stretch, arch, and curl. Back up. And again, tuck your chin, curl down. Lengthen head from tail, spread the tail feathers, and then bring them together. Roll back up. This time, roll all the way down onto all fours and just crawl it forward and back. Find the middle of the mat. Hold it there, knees are up. Open, close the knees. You got it. Widen those collarbones. And now let's circle the knees in, out, and around. In, forward, out, and around. Knees wide, put them down. Untuck the toes, sit back. Rest a second. Stretch those arms really long. Yawn with your armpits. And then shift forward, child's pose push-ups. Bend and stretch. Press back. Inhale down, exhale to shift back. And now let's stay forward. Sink it halfway down, little pulses. Really lengthen the back of your neck. Knit the front ribs together, draw your belly in and up. And now stay down halfway, push with the right arm. Then push with the left. Put those two moves together, circle it around. Weight shifting from one hand to the other. Reverse it. Up and over. Come to center, round your back. Get those knees underneath you. Sit back toward your heels, keep the curl. Rock forward, tuck your toes, arch, sit back. And again, untuck, round your back. Shift forward, tuck the toes, arch. Back to center, lift those knees, open, close. Maybe add a little arch, curl, and low spine. Keep the knees open, tailbone up and down. And then just walk it back towards your feet, roll up to standing. Wiggle around a little bit. Get some water if you need it. Let's do a little more balance challenge. All right, so let's get on top of the right leg. In fact, why don't we go up and over. Just feel your weight shift from one foot to the other. I'm leaning forward a little bit. Stick your tailbone out. Stay on the right side. Arms up, kind of guarding stance. And then let's kick the left foot forward and back. So now we're trying not to put the foot down. Can you keep a bend in your right knee? Keep that right thigh working, front, back, and sides. And now pause, turn in. We're going to rotate our Shoulders in, pull the knee up and across, like you're gonna touch it to the opposite shoulder. A little Fosse, Bob Fosse style. And now pause, arms up, palms up, turn it out. Bend that standing knee. Pull the elbows down. Rotate the forearms like you're screwing a light bulb in. And rest, shake it out. All right, other side, let's get our weight on the left foot. So relax those toes, pull up on top of the standing leg. It's the outer hip, the obliques, and then kick it. Opposite arm and leg. And I'm keeping my foot flexed and reaching through my heel, so I get a little extra glute activation. I am hinged forward. And now pause, turn it in. So I am letting my chest collapse, my shoulders round, and then I'm bringing it back up. And now turn it out. That's right, there's a little side bend, so it's obliques as well as the outer hip on the standing leg. 3, 2, 1, regroup. Let's go back to weight on the right leg. One more balance challenge. Arms are up. Let's circle the left knee. And I'm just doing whatever feels good with my arms, kind of magic arms here, magician arms. Let's go the other way. Weaving the arms as you circle that leg. And now move that leg in any direction, move your arms in any direction. Can you stay on top of that standing leg without putting your foot down? Tailbone pointing in all different directions. And wrist. Ooh, just swing those arms side to side. And now let's do the other side. Get on top of that other leg. Circle it around. Weave the arms. Go the other way. Relax that foot. Let the movement come from the hip, the spine, the standing leg, and now any direction. Pubic bone pointing in different directions. Undomesticate yourself. Get a little wild, and then just walk it around. Whew. Have a little water. If you were walking in one direction, walk the other way. And then find your way down to the floor. Meet me in bear sit. So bear sit is legs out in front, hands back behind you, like you're a big old bear leaning back on a tree. See how my feet are flexed and my knees are wide. Now rotate the left leg in. Feel a little stretch in that outer hip. Open it till you feel the inner thigh stretch. And then switch. I'm rolling along the edge of the heel. Take your time with it. Allow for that moment where you feel the knees reaching away from each other in the middle. It's okay if your shoulders scrunch up by your ears a little bit. One more. And now take your feet together. Get on top of your sit bone. So reach back behind and just move your meat out of the way. And then pull your feet toward you, butterfly stretch. So you can grab hold of your ankles. Lift up through the crown of your head, lengthen the back of your neck, butterfly the knees up and down. And then keep them pressing down, pull forward to stretch the inner thighs. And I'm pulling my belly toward my heel, but now draw your belly back toward your spine and widen your back bottom ribs. Take your thumbs to the arches of your feet and open your feet like it's a little book you want to read what's inside. You can Kind of drag your thumbs along the arches. Stretch those peroneals in the lower leg. Float back up, and now stack your legs. So let's take the right hand, stack the right leg on top of the left. I've got my other hand on the floor behind me. And then I'm going to use my hand to open, the other hand to close. So before the book was our feet, now the book is our legs, opening and closing. And you do use a little bit of weight on the back hand for support. And now let's push that top knee back behind you and then stretch over toward that leg. Drop your ear to your shoulder. Arm is down. And then stack the legs. Open. I'm using my hands, my arms to open, and then push that leg back with that arm, side bend. Oh, that feels nice. Let's do that again. Stack your legs. Open, close, push back. Now you can stay at that same pace or try picking up the pace. You go at the speed that feels good for you. Just keep alternating side to side, rolling across the sit bones. Neck is nice and free. And now let's all stay to this side. Pull your knee to your nose, hold behind the knee or grab your ankle and kick that heel out in front. Stretch the back of that leg. And now use that hand to push the leg behind you, bend it, rotate, and look all the way up and back over the back shoulder. Lift up out of your waistline. Let's do that same thing on this side. So we're going to curl in, flex your spine, knee to the nose, stretch through the heel, and then push the leg back, spiral up and back. Let the top of that back ear float up a little higher. One more time. Flex, stretch, and then push back, extend, and spiral. And now stack your legs. Use the hands, open, close, pull the knee to your nose, stretch, and then push it back, arch and twist. And again, curl in, extend the back of the knee, and then press back, open the front of that hip. One more time. Curl, and then push it back, arch and spiral. And now stack those legs, open. This time turn it into a long diamond. So see how my heels slide away and I'm flaring my feet open. Circle your arms up and round your back like a big wave cresting up and over. Reach for the arches of your feet. And then wrap your hands around to the toes and scoop your collarbones forward. Try to get your belly closer to the floor. Arch your back. And then nod your chin. Just fold into it for a moment and straighten your legs out. Roll up. Now you can prop yourself up if you need to. If you're feeling like you're fighting with your hip flexors, now's the moment to do that. Circle your arms. Up and over. Really round your back. Reach for the knees, shins, toes. And then wrap your hands around to the pinky toe side of the leg, the foot, and scoop those collarbones forward. Yawn with the back of the knees. Breathe into those sticky spots. Let your head drop. Roll back up. Legs out wide, straddle. So you might have to turn a little bit. I'll give you a second to adjust your placement. Maybe prop yourself up if you feel tight. And then one more. Scoop, circle those arms. And curl forward, right in the center. And then scoop the collarbones forward. Arch your back, flat back. And drop your head, roll back up. Make any adjustments if you need to. We're going to stay here a second. Scoop and scoop. And think of snaking the spine head to tail, kind of Stevie Wonder style. And then we're going to scoop to the left, go up and over to the right, side bend. Oh my goodness. And then release that, go back to your scoops. Weight is shifting from one sit bone to the other. I'm turning my hand so my palm is up and then down. Maybe we're sitting in a little puddle. You're kind of scooping the water, letting it run down your arm. And this time go to the right, up and over to the left. And then come back through center. Swing your legs around, roll onto your back. And in fact, let's do a big pandiculation stretch for a moment, yawning and with your whole body. And then pull your knees in toward your chest, give them a good hug, maybe even curl in like you're gonna touch your nose to your knees. And then just rock side to side, let your head rest on the ground. If you've got a pillow, use the pillow to support your head. And then just twist your knees to the right, look back to the left. So I've got my knees pulled in pretty close to my chest. And I've got my left hand palm up. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit to get them nice and wide. And then just rest here for a moment. Really let the floor support your weight. And then swing those knees over to the other side. Right hand palm up. Adjust your shoulders a little bit. Let them release away from each other. Let the top hip drape back a bit. And think of breathing into the spaces between your ribs. Nice big three-dimensional breath. Just slowing back down for a moment. And then come back to center. Take your two peace fingers and then grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Drive your knees down. Happy baby. Release your tailbone away from the crown of your head. Let the pelvic floor relax. Your shoulders softening back into the floor. And then give it a little rock side to side if you haven't already. Roll to the side. Use the top hand to press yourself up. And now let's go kneeling. So hero pose. You can be standing on your knees too. In fact, why don't we all do that? Let's all stand up on our knees. Make sure your weights are close by. We're going to grab them in a minute. So now is the time to get those close. Start with your feet parallel in line with your knees. And you're going to sit down, stay as vertical as you can. Push the floor away from you, float back up. So it's okay to hinge forward a little bit, but try to keep your spine the same shape. If you can, stay really vertical. It adds a little more challenge for the quads. So all that, the layers of the quadriceps gliding over each other. One more parallel. Now turn it out. So my knees are a little bit apart, my big toes are closer together. And then do the same thing, sink down and up. Yeah, your hands can go on your hips, your hands can be out in front. Feels kind of nice to press the palms together. Get a little squeeze under your arms. And now let's turn in. So knees a little closer together, the feet a little bit apart. Check in, only as much turn medial rotation as you can without discomfort in the knees. One more. And then grab your weights. Choose which position felt best for you. Parallel, turned out, turned in, you find the sweet spot. Start up with your elbows bent. Now we're going to hinge forward, reach forward, and then pull back, drive the hips forward. Inhale, widen the sit bones. Exhale, pull it back up. Notice I'm not arching my back. My back is staying the same shape, nice and neutral. Instead, I'm letting my pelvis widen and narrow. Squeeze the weights as you pull them toward you. And now add a little diagonal. Press up to the diagonal. A few more. And now round in the middle, curl in, hands are together. Then I float up and take one arm up, one arm down, open. Curl back in, look in at the weights, and then look up at the top hand. Scoop, inhale, open, exhale, close. One more curl in and just stack back up. Last thing here, take your arms out in front, open. And now as we close our arms, we're gonna hinge at the knee and then come back up. Exhale, tailbone down, pubic bone drawing up. Only go as far back as you can without discomfort in the knees. It might be small. One more. All right, put the weights aside. We'll use them again in a minute. But now go down onto all fours. Look over here a second. We're gonna go hips side to side. So you see how far my hip is going to the side. And then turn that into a snake-like motion, tail to head. Think of a wave flowing, tail to head. Let your elbows be soft. Your hands can move. They don't have to stay in the same place. And now spiral your ribs. And again, let the elbows bend. You can even drop down on your forearms. Try your hands wide. Let's go the other way. Play around with different hand position, very little weight in the hands. And then round your back. Big, angry Halloween cat stretch. Rock forward. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up. Down dog. Bend one knee, stretch one heel down. And switch. Spin those biceps in toward your ears. Switch to the other heel. Once more. And now bend both knees. Keep pushing back with your hands. Push your weight into your feet. Relax the pelvic floor and circle that tailbone around. Let's carve a little circle with the tailbone. Try going the other way. If you feel it in your neck, just put your knees down. Keep the hip circles going. And then shift forward, plank. Stay low, piston squat. So I sink back and front. Push the heels back as you shift your weight forward. So you squeeze those glutes. And then put your knees down, untuck your toes, just rest. Rock side to side. Oh my goodness, do whatever feels good for a moment. And then roll up. If you can, sit on your heels, otherwise stand on your knees. And let's all do some little wrist circles. So I've made loose fists with my hands. And then let's go the other way. And now open your hands and start to make figure eights. Try to lead with the pinky fingers. So magician hands. And now let's lead with the index finger. Just a little different sensation. And then shake them out. Go back to all fours, but take one of your weights with you. We're gonna hold it palm up. It's your crystal ball, my friends. And then we're gonna slide opposite arm and leg out. Flex your spine, look in, touch the weight to your knee, and then open back up. Exhale, curl. Inhale, let the back arch, but keep that support from the belly. 2 more. 2. It is a balance challenge, so it's okay if you're a little wobbly. Reach out, put that knee down, rest a second. In fact, let's flip our hands over so the back of your hands goes on the ground, and then just rock forward and back. Stretch your wrists the other way. Ha ha. All right, let's switch to the other side. So other hand, palm up. Present your crystal ball, reach the other leg out, and then curl in. Look at your knee. When you extend, just look a few feet out in front of you, not straight ahead, so you keep a fluid line through your cervical spine. No hyperextending in the neck. Long arc, head from tail. Last one. Open, and then put the weight to the side. This time, turn your hands so your fingers point toward you. Your palms are down. Tuck the toes. Rock back and front from here. One wrist will probably be a little bit stiffer than the other. Now let's just linger in the stretch. Nod and bobble your head and neck a little bit. Maybe circle your ribs a few times in each direction. And then rock forward. Let that go. Let's go down to side sit on your forearm. Heels in line with the tailbone. Elbow right under your knee. Yeah, make adjustments, kick the weights out of the way if you need to. And then let's just sink the rib cage down. Let's take the top hand around to the bottom rib and then lift the rib cage back up and feel your obliques contract. Let's just repeat that a few times. Head goes in line with the spine. So notice if your head is pushed forward, can you bring it up and back? And now just hold it there. Find even space on the top and bottom side of the waist, head back in line, and then top hand on the hip. Lift that top leg up and down. Play with your knee being a little more in front and kind of work it to the back. All the way back behind you, and then work it back to the front. Don't let the ribs sag. Look past the screen if you've been looking at the screen, and now circle that knee. Reverse, so just about 3 in each direction. 2, 3, and then let it rest. Turn that bottom hand to a 45-degree angle, so kind of angled toward the top corner of your mat, and then push down through that hand, straighten your arm. Bend it back down. Once you've got the idea, again, just look past the screen, see the space around you. Little tricep press. Feel the back of your armpit wrapping forward. And now let's try adding the hips. So first your arm press, then the hips shift forward and up. And then you sit back, fold back in. I think of a pop-up book. It's like you open the book and it pops up, and then fold. This time stay up. Hold it up there. Get that head placement in check. Pull up on the bottom side of the waist. Top hand comes around, and just use that hand at the base of your skull to traction the back of your neck. Turn and look up at the ceiling. Let the weight of your head drop into your hand. Reach that elbow up out of your shoulder. And then release it back down. And just swing your legs around to the other side. All right. First, forearm down. And then we're just going to sink and lift. Push the floor away from you with your forearm and your elbow, and you'll feel your deltoid, that shoulder, working. So it's a nice way to strengthen the deltoids without weights. And now let's keep that lift in the bottom side. Check your head, Check your ribs. You're not letting them pop forward. Your belly is drawing in and up. And then you lift the top leg up and down. Work it to the front. Work it to the back. Can you keep that steady placement of your ribs? Don't let your back start to arch as your leg comes behind you. And then work it to the front again. And then turn it into a circle. Neck is nice and easy. You can kind of nod and bobble your head. Keep lengthening the back of the neck and then reverse your circle. And now rest that leg. Turn your arm 45. Push down through that bottom hand. Fold it back down. Control it in both directions. Tricep extension. I'm filling in all the empty space under my hand, pushing a little bit through the fingertips, doming the palm of my hand. Now let's try adding the hips. So push with the arm first, then the hips shift forward and up. And then you fold back in and down. And again, more challenging is to do upper and lower body simultaneously. Don't just drop back down, really control it down. Stay up, static hold. Top arm circles up and around, traction the back of your neck. You can also do this with your hip down. And then turn and look up to the ceiling. Drop the weight of your head into your hand, reach that elbow up to the sky. Pubic bone drawing up to the belly button, tailbone down between the knees. And then release it back down. Ooh-wee, let's lay on our backs. Almost done. Find the middle of your mat, kind of wiggle around, fussy baby style, rocking and rolling, and then get your feet about as wide as your mat. Tip your tailbone down and up. So you're just rocking on your sacrum, arching and curling the low spine. I'm not pushing with my feet. Try to let your legs relax. Let the movement come from the spine and the pelvic floor. And then this time, check that your feet are pretty close to your body. Scoop your belly, peel your hips up into a bridge. And then melt your chest away from your chin, roll back down. Tip that tailbone, arch your back away from the floor. Exhale, draw the sit bones together, scoop your belly, knees reaching out over your toes, and then articulate back down. Wave-like motion, little arch. And curl, and this time stay up at the top. Hold it there, let your belly drop back toward your spine. Let the weight of your brain get a little heavier toward the floor. And then melt through your throat, the upper chest, the heart, mid-back, kidneys, all the way down to the ground. Hug your knees in, hands on the knees, and then stir your legs around. Massaging your lower back so your legs are circling in the same direction. I'm using my arms to move the weight of my legs. And then go the other way. That feels nice. And now let's find the middle and straighten the right leg along the floor. Pull the left knee in toward your chest. Let that knee come out toward your armpit. And stand into the right foot like you're standing flat on the floor. Reach through the center of that right heel. Think of the left sit bone reaching toward the inner edge of the right heel. Now soften your sternum. Let your shoulders soften a little bit. And then use the right hand to draw the left leg across. Let's give a generous bend to the right leg. So both knees are bent. As we twist to the right, we look back to the left. Make any little adjustments to find that nice passive twist. Really just let the floor support your weight. Look for places of unnecessary tension. Bring a little movement or just send the breath there to release that tension out into space. And then come back through center. You might have to kind of wiggle around for a second, have a little wardrobe adjustment. Both knees in. Straighten the left leg down along the floor. Right knee to the chest. Flex that left foot. Open the right knee toward your armpit. Stretch through the center of the left heel, right through the center of the bones, and reach that right sit bone toward the inner edge of the left heel. Spread your toes on the left foot, relax the right. Soften the space behind your collarbones. Soften your whole body, twist that leg across, look back to the right. You can even stack your legs. They can be a little staggered. You just choose what feels best for your body right now. Maybe walk the bottom shoulder forward a few steps to let the shoulders release away from each other. Scan for unnecessary tension, make adjustments. Breathe into those sticky spots. And then come back to center. Straighten your legs down, reach your arms back. Pandiculation, full body yawn, let your back arch. Maybe have a little rib cage party, side to side. And then relax your arms down by your sides. And just dig your heels into the mat. Rock your body up and down. So it's a vigorous pumping of the ankles, letting that vibration travel through your bones. Try to let your belly soften enough that you even feel a little jiggle, a little wiggle in the belly. And then feet side to side. Let your feet flop open. Close your eyes for a moment, just rest here. Take a breath. And then roll to one side and press yourself up to sitting because you are cooked. Ding, ding.